and welcome to another episode of OP Said. This one's a special one because we are celebrating our first year anniversary. We are one, guys!
Can't believe it!
So to celebrate, this episode's a little bit different. We are going to recap on some of our favourite stories, we've got categories, and we're going to go through them and just have a chat about them. You'll see some clips, and then we asked you guys for some questions, and we will answer those questions later on in the show.
And if you don't know, but you should do, I'm Mel.
And I'm May.
Okay. So our first category is top villains.
Yes.
Each of us gave examples of who we thought were our top villains. Mine was, am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't be her surrogate? I, Celeste, have an identical twin sister. We'll call her Stacey for the sake of the story. Our mother unfortunately passed in child labour and we were raised by our father. Stacey has been married to Jeff for 8 years and I have been in a relationship with Mike for 3 years now. One thing I've always known about my sister is that she wanted to be a mum. Even when we were children, she was always thinking about wedding ideas, nursery themes, baby names, etc. I was always more focused on books and having fun. I'm now a flight attendant. I'm also attempting to become a published author. My sister has not worked ever, honestly. When we graduated high school, we went straight to college. She met her boyfriend in college and once she graduated, became a stay-at-home girlfriend until she became a wife. I've known for a while that my sister has been attempting to become pregnant, unsuccessfully. She has experienced a single miscarriage and has been unable to become pregnant again after thousands and thousands of dollars being spent on IVF and pretty much anything they could do because she wanted to experience pregnancy. After 5 years of no success, they have started to discuss other options. My sister isn't interested in adoption and is very adamant on having a child that is both of their DNA. Her words, not mine. About 3 weeks ago, she came into my house and we were hanging out as we usually do. Just chatting and watching Modern Family. She told me she had a serious question and needed to ask me while she still had her nerves. It scared me, but she asked if I could be her surrogate. I was frozen for a second and asked what she meant. She told me that I know what a surrogate was. She needed to be her surrogate. I expressed that she knew that I wasn't interested in having children. This could definitely be due to how we came into the world, but I'll be honest and say I have never, and this is in capital letters, found the thought of having children appealing in any way. I have told her I would have zero issue with donating my eggs to her, however many she needed, and could have them all. But I could not carry her child.
Yeah.
Upon hearing that, she became so angry. Her face was so red and she was just yelling about how it's obvious how jealous and hateful I am because of this small task.
Wow. All the way there, yeah?
I didn't want to bring it to her attention, but she has always spoken about having more than 4 kids. Would this expectation be for me to do this every time? I don't know. I'm starting to feel so bad. She ended up telling me that if I couldn't do this one thing for her, how could I ever call myself her sister? She broke a picture of us that was sitting on my mantle and stormed out. Since then, she's only texted me pictures of her diaries from when we were kids and all her vision boards saying I'm stopping her from creating a family for no reason and to think about the bigger picture. My boyfriend refuses to give me advice. Good man.
It's true.
Saying that it's my sister and he doesn't feel comfortable attempting to sway me in either direction because it's such a touchy subject. Honestly, this is the longest I've gone without communicating with my sister and I'm seriously on the verge of giving in. And then she writes, am I the arsehole for not wanting to be a surrogate for my identical twin sister?
No.
That was the Boxing Day episode
where
the twin sisters, one didn't want to get pregnant and the other did. Do you remember? It was crazy. It ended up being like the fiancé or the sister's husband was a maniac. And he was like, he stalked the other sister, ended up even like assaulting her at a restaurant. It was crazy.
He was stalking her. It was mad.
It was crazy.
And then remember, he was putting pressure on her because his family said that she needed to create a baby with her husband, and she couldn't, and so like they even made her feel like less than for being infertile, and so she said that her sister should basically have the baby as well. That guy was infertile for being infertile, and the family
Infertile.
That was crazy. And the family was putting a lot of pressure on her. So the brother actually suggested that her identical twin sister carry the baby. That was mad. But I'm so glad. Do you remember the sister's boyfriend was really nice? He took her in, they moved in, and then they got engaged. Remember?
Yeah.
So that was like a really
story.
nice ending to a mad
It was
story.
9 parts. So if you guys want to head over to the Boxing Day episode, you will see that it had so many different parts, and it was like a telenovela. I was like, I didn't know. I was like, where is this going? But it was I just thought he was such a villain, because how dare you try, first of all, to pull 2 sisters apart, twins like that. And I don't know, I wish there was an update. I don't know how their sisterhood would recover.
Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted an update, because I wanted to know what their relationship was like. Because do you remember the twin actually knew that her husband was harassing?
Yes, she did,
And so I wanted to know if they were able to get back to that. And then I do also want to know what the twin did with the relationship going forward. Did she get a divorce?
I think she said that she was supposed to be getting a divorce.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. But did it actually happen?
It's true.
Yeah.
I want to know if that happened. I want to know how much time, if he did any, the husband did in prison. Because there's definitely a case of stalking.
Yeah.
There's definitely a case of like...
but remember, he
was wealthy.
Also, no, he was wealthy.
Yeah, so he might not...
He punctured her tyre or something, remember, because the dad had to get involved, and he told her boyfriend at the time to take that car with a punctured tyre into his garage, and he let the daughter drive off in his car, remember?
Yeah.
At his house.
If anything...
No, he was following her in the mum's car.
Yeah.
But I remember basically the twins were beefing over that one subject, and then the dad was like, let's have a family meeting at his house.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was at that time that the the husband of the sister that actually wanted her sister to have her baby punctured the tyre, and then the dad came in and he was like, no, take my car.
It was all crazy. I thought, this man's a big villain, because there's one thing you don't do. You don't actually... Who even suggested this?
But he's got no right to her womb, though. Like, literally, he's got no absolute right to her womb. At the end of the day, he asked, and remember, their mum died in childbirth, and that was why the twin that was asked to have the baby was really scared. And she said, "No, I don't want to be pregnant. Like, it's not for me." But it was because of their mum dying, and she's got every right to say no.
Also, they had a really bad car crash, which also is why the sister
couldn't have babies.
But my thing was, she actually didn't have any interest in having kids as
well.
So
also she was scared as well, even if she was willing to do that for her twin.
But she wasn't. So let's start with that. So my thing is, if somebody
so mean like that.
If somebody doesn't want to have kids and then you ask them to be the surrogate, I think that's wild. That's a wild.
It's true. I think that's a huge ask.
Like, they literally don't want to have any kids, and yet you think that their womb... They've got like a rent for hire womb.
That's crazy.
No, they don't. They definitely don't.
But I guess she wanted...
If you don't want to have kids, the likelihood is you don't want to be pregnant.
Yeah.
But
it was layered. It was also that they were going to have her swap and pretend to be the twin to go to the
fraudulent
doctors, fraudulent, and then lie and say, you know, they'd been pregnant before, because it was like, to be a surrogate, you either have to be pregnant before. There were rules, and they were willing to just overlook all of that. And basically, they didn't care about the health. He didn't care about anything, neither did the twin. So to me, that was like biggest villain. What about you guys?
It's true. Even the dad of the twins was like, if you have to do all of this, I don't think you're ready for parenthood. If you are willing to lie to a professional to get that baby, you lot shouldn't be doing this. Even the dad was like, you lot stop.
I think it was just a case of just abuse, like literally emotional abuse. And then maybe
she was in a bad marriage.
Maybe there was a bit of physical as well, because for him to put his hands on her sister, that's somebody who's comfortable putting hands on someone.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe there was physical as well, but it was just an abusive, toxic relationship. And then he had the support of his parents, who were vile, by the way, telling her that she was essentially a failure because she couldn't bring kids into the world. So it was just It was a really, really bad situation. I felt really sorry for Opie because somehow she got mixed and muddled into all of this shit.
Yeah, I felt the whole, the husband, the mum, the dad, his mum and dad were all villains. It was like
all of them,
big villains. And they created a mini
and
villain.
I felt like
big villain.
I felt like the hero was the Opie's dad and her
boyfriend,
fiancé. Yeah. I really loved the dad just saying, like, I'm really sorry if I've led you to believe that this is okay, to experience anything like this is okay. Like, just I've got African parents. They don't say sorry. They don't say sorry for anything, even the things that they're wrong for. And he was apologizing for just saying, like, if you think that this type of relationship's okay, it's really not.
It was horrible.
I know. Great story, though.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it was real. As we were reading it, I was like, wow. Completely off topic, we know that at least 50% of you that watch this channel do not subscribe. If you could please subscribe to this channel, it would help bring people just like yourselves right here with us. We are also on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok at Opie Said Podcast. Please follow us.
Okay, so my best villain story was I found out the actual reason my mum lost custody of me, and I don't know if I can ever look at her again.
I was removed from my mother's care by DCFS when I was 11 years old due to allegations of SA posed against my stepfather. He was convicted of those crimes but took a plea deal, which meant he'd be out by the time I was 13. 2 years, that's it.
Oh, wow.
And from what I can remember, I don't even know that he served those 2 full years anyway. I was his primary victim. I don't remember how old I was when it started, but the earliest he admitted to was when I was 8. I don't know if my mum knew before DCFS got involved or if she found out afterwards, but now I don't think it would have mattered to her if she was aware. After being put into temporary custody of the state while the legal issues were sorted out, eventually I was placed with a relative and her husband, and then in brackets it says, who later adopted me when it was clear my mother wouldn't be getting me back. My adoptive parents put me in therapy, got me the help I needed, did everything they could to make me feel safe again. Something they never prevented me from was speaking to my mother. I was always able to call or text her, and she was always allowed to come and visit me, but I could never go and see her. I didn't really question it as a kid. I assumed it was some stipulation the courts made. I believed growing up that the reason my mum hadn't gotten back was because of neglect, I guess. I assumed that the court thought it was partly her fault that I had been left unattended with that man so often, or that it took someone else noticing I was physically injured for something to be done about it. My adoptive parents never challenged these assumptions I had, and they always told me that they would never stop me from having a relationship with my mum so long as that's what I wanted. Once I turned 18, my mum and I started talking more frequently, but we didn't see each other in person as often. I never really thought much of it at first, but as the years went by, I started to question the circumstances of my removal and subsequent adoption. I was confused as to why a woman with no prior issues with the law would have had her child taken from her in such a cut and dry way. I decided to ask my adoptive parents about it, and they very gently informed me that my mother, in order for her to regain custody of me, her husband, in brackets, my abuser, would be required to leave the home and could not under any circumstances come near me, not only because he was an offender, but because I was the victim. My mother evidently could not meet these conditions, and so I was adopted by my relatives.
Wow.
When I worked up the courage to ask my mother if it was true, she didn't deny it. She told me she loved him, and he was a good man who made a mistake. They said that she could have her daughter or she could stay with her husband, so she chose him. She picked him over me. I don't even know what to do with the things I'm feeling now. I feel sick just thinking about it. She's my mother, and she knew what he did. He was convicted of sexually abusing her 11-year-old child, and she refused to leave him. For the last 12 years, she has willingly slept in a bed next to a man that assaulted her daughter. She has stayed married to the man who hurt me. My adoptive parents said they were advised by the therapist to let me figure it out on my own, in my own time. As my mother, despite picking that man over me, never made any move to have me near him again. She just wasn't willing to make him leave so that I could be with her. Evidently, the therapist thought it would be more detrimental in the long run to keep me from communicating with my mother entirely. None of that makes me feel better. The past 2 days have felt like a nightmare. I don't understand how she could stay with him. I don't understand why she chose a monster over her child. I'm trying to understand why my adoptive parents didn't tell me, but to be honest, I don't really understand their reasoning either. My mum has been texting me, but I haven't answered. I can't even think about her without feeling nauseous or so angry I want to cry, or both. My adoptive parents keep checking in on me, but I've only answered the phone to them because I don't want them to drive here out of concern. I really don't know what to do anymore. Edit. I said this in a comment, but I thought I'd clarify here too. I'm not necessarily mad at my parents. I'm just overwhelmed by the reality of this situation. I don't even know how I feel, but I know I need time to feel it. I'm still in therapy, which is related to the abuse I experienced, so I do have a professional to rely on for guidance if I need it. And I don't think I'll ever be able to speak to my mother again. I can't get past this to forgive her or understand her reasoning, and I'm not sure I will ever want to try.
This story was absolutely wild. I can't believe, and bless Opie, honestly, I don't know what I would do. I think I would be on the nearest bridge if I found out my mother chose the person that abused me over me, and that's why she basically was being looked after by family members.
Yeah.
And that would break me. Like, it would break me completely, especially because no one told her why. She used to always have a relationship with her mother, and it was a question of, should they have told her earlier? And then why didn't they tell her? Why did they allow her to have a good relationship with her mother until she obviously found out otherwise? Like, I would have so many questions. It would completely break me and my sense of identity. I wouldn't know who I was. I would be like, oh my God, so this is my background story. I would also feel like, why wasn't I not good enough for my mum to pick me over my abuser?
Yeah.
Like, that story was horrid, because after she found out, she didn't know what to do. And I'm telling you right then and there, that's it. You would never hear from me if you were my mother. I would never, ever, 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 even if I needed a kidney or something, I would never talk to you again.
But you know what it was? It was because
I could not.
It was the therapist was involved, and I remember May was like, no, on all fronts. We were like, okay, we kind of understood, but May was like, no. Yeah, she still feel the same way.
You have to say why she didn't understand. So May didn't understand why the therapist actually advised that they don't tell OP as a child, but I understood it. It's because they wanted.
Wrong. My response was, I wasn't okay with the therapist saying that it's okay for her mum to have access to her. That was my biggest issue, because knowing that the mum chose to stay with her abuser, and to this day, I still, I've remained in the same line of thinking, which is, why? Like, you've chosen him over her. And if that's the case, then stay with that decision. But at no point should she have access to this child. That she, like, really the big villain, it's not him. It's the mum.
Absolutely.
It's the mum. It's the fact that she knows everything that happens now, because obviously they went to court. He went to prison.
He went to prison for that.
He actually went to prison. So my thing is, you heard everything that your daughter had to say. You then had other, medical professionals also speak on the behalf of the daughter. In order for her husband to go to jail, and you still said, I'm going to stick beside him.
Yeah.
You still chose him over her.
Over your child.
So why should, to this day, it even makes me heated. Why should the mum have access to her daughter?
Yeah. It's actually weird.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
And everybody
agree. As I watch back a lot of our episodes, I realise I don't trust none of these therapists. People have got the wrong therapist giving them advice. The other day we were even reading a story, maybe 2 episodes ago, and it was the dad had broken up with the wife because she cheated. There was another child, but the children hate their brother. Yes, the therapist is doing nothing to create a sense of sisterhood or brotherhood, sibling bond with these children. I was like, what therapists have you lot got walking around here giving you advice? They're not doing the work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
No one is healing. Everybody's separating and staying separate. I don't like it. So I now don't believe in certain professionals. I think you need to pick the right professional, the person that gets you, not just a therapist. I think people need to trial and test, because if I'm with you and I'm still I'm not healed. And as a parent, I can see that my child is still resentful towards A. I'm not going to keep going to that therapist. That's rubbish.
It's true.
I completely agree. But bringing it back to this story, yeah, my thoughts and
May said
feelings.
stay focused.
I'm saying, but I agree though.
Yeah, no. But basically, my thoughts and feelings remain the exact same. Like, I've watched too much SVU. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched too much Criminal Minds, and it's just when you take that into consideration, it just like I think at the time Opie wrote in. Wasn't she 18 or something like that?
She was a young adult.
She was quite
a young
young,
adult,
right?
yeah.
So my thing is, now that she's found out, what are the next few 5 to 10 years going to look like? They're going to be really harrowing. Like,
Yeah.
it's really going to fuck her up. It fucked her up anyway before, but now it's going to fuck her up even more, like to the point of her relationships with men.
Yeah.
She might even seek maternal figures elsewhere, and they might be bad people.
Yeah.
I think parental figures doesn't really factor in, but she might choose the wrong partner, might make the same mistakes her mum did. But there's just
cycles, isn't it?
Yeah. And so for me, I think maybe I'm thinking too much in the future.
No, you're not, because she's with the wrong therapist.
Yeah.
It was that same therapist that was looking after her and also advising her uncle and auntie who had taken her in. Everybody had bad advice.
That's what I
So
think as
I'm just
well.
like,
It's true.
how does she move forward? Because this person, even the therapist was in on it. That's crazy.
Yeah, her mum was a big villain, and she didn't deserve access to a child that she knows was
true.
abused by her husband. It's that simple. And I know that you were like, so do you guys have the same stance, or are you with me now?
I stand with you, mate.
I'm definitely with you, but I think if I remember correctly, I'd said that I understand that the therapist has been told that she needs to stay neutral, and that's why she gave that bad advice. It is what it is, but it's because she was told to be impartial. I think that's actually as per the profession.
No,
and it happens. And it happens all the time. Do you
No,
remember?
you're incorrect. You're talking about a counsellor. Like, so there's different types of
Yeah, of
therapists.
course.
A counsellor is one who, let me know if I'm wrong, people, but I think it's one that listens but doesn't give advice. Whereas
That's
actually,
a psychiatrist.
okay, cool. But there's one where
And they give you medicine.
Yeah, but in this situation, a child therapist, it would be specialist to that sort of like a child abuse. That would be one of their specialisms. So they wouldn't just be listening with no judgment. No, they would have advice, Melinda. They would. They would have. They 100% have advice. I don't think they're just going to sit and listen to how the child thinks.
Okay,
and
so
that's it.
and this is where the audience need to come in. But I believe that in those kind of situations, the court gets involved and they're then assigned a court-appointed therapist who actually tries to, they're part of the family, custody, legal part of the law, basically, and they're actually told to remain impartial. Do you know that? That what they do is they try to create harmony.
I don't believe that for a second.
I understand what I understand the point that
family.
I understand
part of the
what
family
she
law.
was.
That's what they do. It's
I
like
understand that
separation.
part, but
They try
I
to keep
don't
you
agree.
partial.
I think you're making it up.
No, honestly, I've
don't
seen
agree.
it.
I just think that as
Where did you see it?
So do you know in our TikTok, if you read the comments on this, you'll see so many people said the same thing. They said, yeah, it's really unfair, but this is what the law tells them that they should do. They also said that they've seen this happen time and time again. If you go onto the dilemma,
don't believe you.
May doesn't believe a thing I say anyway. She has mental health issues, guys. So anyway,
I do not. I do not.
Imagine being bro, I was partnered with my enemy. That's got nothing to do with me.
What? With a medical health condition.
Oi, can you let me live?
None that I'm aware of, but all right. It's today.
Let me live.
By
I swear. I swear to you.
Uncertified individual that I've got mental health issues.
Uncertified,
okay.
whatever.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, look, I stand on your side. Like, I'm totally with you. I totally agree that the mother should never been given access to the child. Absolutely. Terrible advice for the mother to still be allowed to have access to the child. However, it is what it is. And ultimately, I found this to be the worst villain, kind of like the worst out of all of them, because it was the parent. Like everybody else, it's like, it tends to be the spouse. And so, whatever, but a mother choosing her child's abuser is next level for me. I'm sorry. I've never heard anything like it. It
It was disgusting.
It was awful.
Okay, so my favourite was So you guys know, my wife wants a divorce after I requested a paternity test.
Okay, my story comes from Best of Reddit's updates. My wife, 29 female of 5 years, wants a divorce after I, 35 male, requested a paternity test.
Ooh.
Guilty? I met my wife through a mutual friend. We were friends for a year or so before we became single and decided we were compatible enough to date. We were together 2 years before we got married. I do not know what got into me. My wife is loyal and faithful, but I had been reading statistics about how many men are raising children that aren't their own and had absolutely no idea around the time she found out she was pregnant. We both wanted children. We weren't actively preventing it. About 3 months in, I couldn't take it anymore and told her I wanted a paternity test. She asked me if I was accusing her of cheating. I said yes.
Hey.
She asked me why, and I couldn't answer her. Neither of us has ever cheated or been cheated on. She works very hard, long hours at her job, but has always let me know where she is and who she will be with. If she was going somewhere with friends, I was always welcomed. I do not know why I did this, and it's tearing me up. She told me she would gladly give me my paternity test, but that she was moving back to her mother's until that time because she didn't know if she wanted to continue the marriage. She got an amniocentesis test at about 20 weeks. I'm the father, and when she told me, I was so happy, but she wasn't. She told me that she felt like she fell out of love with me the minute I asked her, and that she had no desire to reconcile. Our daughter was born July 10th. My wife has gone through a lawyer and has started the motions of divorce and issues of custody. She has since gotten her own apartment. She said she wants to keep this as amicable as possible for the sake of our daughter. But I just want to be a family. She doesn't want support or alimony because she makes more than enough to cover herself and our daughter's needs and live a comfortable life. It's taken since February to even get her to soften her stance and even think about counselling. She said she loves me, but she isn't sure she can get over this. Now I'm trying to think of how to fix this, and I'm such a broken mess. I want to prepare a list to talk about on Monday at counselling, but I just can't think of anything but apologising, and that hasn't made a difference in the past months. I don't think it would now.
Oh, sir.
Okay, so I mean, this was this was recent. I hated this man, and he was a big villain because it was like the way he decided to write in.
Yeah.
That bothered me. Initially, it was, oh, help me. I want to get back my wife. You know, tell me what to say when I go in for this counselling session. And then later, with an edit, it was, I have no interest in going to the counselling session. I basically cheat on my wife prolifically in different ways. Like I sign up to eHarmony, I've signed up to Tinder. I don't really communicate with her. I also demand that she tells me where she is and with who she is at all times. But I don't want to share any of that information. And actually, I deserve my privacy. I'm owed that. I'm owed my privacy. But oh, by the way, she is a loyal woman. She reassures me constantly that she'll never ever betray my trust in any way, shape or form. But I still accused her of cheating so that she can get a paternity test for me. And by the way, I requested it in a time frame when she was pregnant whereby it was very, very dangerous. But I didn't want to pay for it initially. I also didn't want to pay for that test.
Yeah, that man was awful.
And it wasn't until later, months down the line, when my child is now here, that I paid for it. He was a big villain.
Yeah,
He was awful. It was the fact that he wanted sympathy initially, and it was just like, oh, please help me. My wife suddenly wants a divorce, like out of nowhere, only because I asked for a paternity test. And it was like, bro, look at the circumstances in which you did what you did. Yeah, no, he was a big villain because he lacked self-awareness and accountability.
I'm just really glad she got the divorce in the end.
Same.
That because at first she was willing to talk to him, but then afterwards, no, she saw the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that she had her own money and didn't need to rely on him at all. That she said, don't worry, we can get the divorce and I'll take the child and you don't need to contribute towards the child as well. And I'm telling you right now, someone like that, his personality, that must have been burning him. Yeah. Burning him, that she wants absolutely nothing to do with him.
And she moved to a different state.
Yeah.
Which
I love
she was
that.
going to soon follow.
Yeah.
Just remember that,
It's
guys.
true.
Once you have a child with someone, unfortunately, they'll follow you.
It's true.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I hated him. He's such a knock. Like,
Yeah.
it was really obvious. The more, it's almost like, stop talking. If you talk less, people like you more. But the more he talked, the more he revealed more about his thinking, his character. It was just like, I don't even know how you got her to sleep with you. I don't know how you got her to marry you, because you're awful.
Yeah. Awful.
Absolutely awful. And just lack of trust. Like, he didn't trust her, but that's because he's a shady human being.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, with cheaters, they are naturally quite paranoid.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're up to some shit. And so they just naturally assume that
projection.
other people... Yeah.
It's projection.
They think other people are on the same things that they're on.
Yeah.
But she wasn't. She was a good woman.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I absolutely... But that's because I hate that type of character. Like,
Yeah. So next up we have our heroes, and these are the stories where we were clapping for OP.
Yes.
Mine was, am I the asshole for breaking off my engagement because my fiancé made an offensive joke about me to his friends? Buckle up, it's long and I'm sorry about that. I, 28 female, and my fiancé, 32 male, have been together for 5 years. For the sake of anonymity, I'll be referring to him as John. John and I have had a wonderful and loving relationship for these past 5 years, and I truly saw myself with him for the rest of my life. We've had our ups and downs, but not once has John ever made me feel like I wasn't enough. He supported me in all of my endeavours and dreams, and our relationship even survived 9 months of being long distance, as I'd been sent to another state to work in 2021. I truly love John, and even now I still love him, but I have my doubts now about how he feels about me. A little context. I grew up fat. I had been fat when we met, and for the first 3 years of our relationship, I was fat. This isn't a problem and never has been in our relationship, but it was something I had a problem with about myself. I wanted to be healthier and to simply lose the weight because I knew it would make me happier. John was supportive of this. He said he'd love me no matter what form I took, because it was my heart and soul he'd fallen for. I had believed that, as I had no reason not to. John has always made me feel like he loves me and made me feel desired. But now, I've lost half of what I weighed before, and at my age and due to my being overweight my entire life, I have plenty of loose skin. I am absolutely insecure about it, and John knows this. He's made every effort to reassure me, and he still finds me beautiful, and that he looks at my body as the evidence of how hard I've worked and how far I've come. He reassures me that he still loves being intimate with me and loves my body, even if it has changed. I felt so lucky to have a man who loved me so unconditionally and truly. Recently, John and I had gone out with a bunch of our friends as we'd not been able to align our schedules until now. Whenever we go out with a big group like this, John and I usually spend the beginning of the evening and the end of the evening together at the party. At some point in the middle, we always split off to socialise with our friends separately. When it came time that I went to rejoin John, I had seen him with his best friend and a couple of others engaged in a conversation. John's back was to me, and his friends were all chuckling about something as I approached. But I stopped dead in my tracks when I heard John tell his best friend that my body looked like a deflated weather balloon, and that it was hard for him not to laugh when we were intimate and my body moved. I had never expected the man who spoke so warmly and lovingly to me to talk about me in such a way. John was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with. He'd known my insecurities and still loved me anyway, at least I thought. Needless to say, I was hurt and angry and devastated. I walked up to him, handed him his ring without a word, and left. I didn't even go to our home. I went to a hotel and stayed there. I turned off my phone and took a couple of days to just cry out my heartache. When I turned my phone back on, there were messages and voicemails from John and our friends. Most of John's messages were apologetic and begging me to talk to him and come home. But then the most recent were the opposite. He said I was cruel and cold for ignoring him and breaking off the engagement without warning or so much as an explanation. When I responded to him and told him I'd heard what he said, John told me that I was acting like a child because I took his joke too seriously.
What? That's not a joke.
When the ha-ha-ha's not reaching. Wow. That he was just trying to make his friend laugh. I asked him why he needed to make his friend laugh at my expense by telling him about my body and how it looked to him, or how he struggled not to laugh at me when we were intimate. He didn't respond. Instead, as I'm writing this, I'm still receiving messages from our friends telling me that he's sorry and that I should see how miserable he is without me.
So?
That I'm so cold and a bitch for running off like that instead of giving John a chance to explain himself. I'm hurt. I genuinely don't know if I was too rash in breaking off our engagement, but the only thought in my head, and what is still sticking with me now, is that when I was fat, people mocked me because of my body all the time. I lost the weight only to still have people mock me because of my body. And it just so happened to be the one person I allowed to see me at my most vulnerable who showed me that. I know John's hurting, or at least seems to be, but so am I. Should I have heard him out? 5 years and I didn't even give him a chance to explain or to really apologise. I still love the man. Those feelings don't go away overnight. But I don't want to hear his apology. I don't want his explanation. I'm just angry and hurt, and my friends seem to think I'm throwing away my relationship over something easily fixable. What do you guys think? Deflated the balloon.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, I was so proud of her. I was like, yes, you left him. You left him. And that man and his friends.
That man and her friends. Let me tell you, it was also her friends. It wasn't just his friends. It was her friends as well. Everybody's saying,
get back with John. His name was John. His name was John. It was just a joke. Are you taking it too seriously?
That's not a joke. He said
that man finished her.
He said he laughs
at
her
deflated body.
No, but he there's that, but he laughs at her. This is somebody who
he has to stop himself from laughing. Yeah,
that's
when
disgusting.
He sees her naked.
Yeah,
I said, you know what, you deserve everything you got.
He deserves worse.
He deserves more.
He deserves a lot more.
He deserves for somebody to create a body complex, and he's like somebody who fucks him over mentally, so he's not confident, so he doesn't ever walk out anywhere confident, thinking that anybody likes him. I think his personality is awful. Yeah. I think he should also look awful as well. I think he should look like he's inside.
Yeah. Do you know?
No, it's like, it sounds so childish. Even as I'm saying
I think he should look like he's inside.
Don't you think? I just think like sometimes like I really hope to God that he's not even decent looking. I hope that he's really unattractive, and I hope that somebody makes him feel as shit as he made her feel shit. Yeah. And then telling her that it was...
though, chances are he's probably a little bit good looking.
No, decent. I think at best decent.
I don't know how you get...
I don't know how you came to that. But my thing is like it was just like his way of trying to resolve everything was telling her it's childish.
No, he was really
walking out on me is childish. Like, come, let's think about this. Let's talk. Like, come on, did you really take it seriously? And it's just like, you literally told me I'm unattractive. That I have no redeeming...
No, he didn't tell her.
Sorry, he laughed at her, but through
behind her
laughing at her with his friends.
No, it was...
He told her
and do you remember he said that it was just a joke. He needed to entertain the crowd. Do you remember that?
No, he said entertain this one friend.
Yeah, entertain his friends.
Go back
at her expense. I said, this is disgusting. No, I feel really sorry for her, because one, it's one thing to hear all the cool things someone says about you, but they were in a relationship for 5 years and had just gotten engaged as well. I'm sorry, what? Do you know how, if that was me, I would question everything. It would make you question absolutely everything, like question you, and most especially like your self-worth. I don't think I would have, my self-esteem would be broken. My sense of self, my self-worth, everything would be shattered. What he did was so cruel.
It would be really hard to believe when somebody calls you beautiful.
Yeah.
After that. It would be really hard to believe any compliment That is
Absolutely.
like any physical, like aesthetic compliment, like anything where like, oh, I think
remember,
you're beautiful. She'll be like, oh, does he mean it? And why? Because she had 5 years of somebody lying to her, saying the same thing.
But also, remember, she was big, and so she lost so much weight, and that's why she had deflated
and he told her you didn't need to lose the weight.
Yeah, exactly. But then
he told her you were beautiful through it, and it shows your strength.
Yeah. And so this man has been like your hype person, your biggest supporter. And then you find out what they're saying behind your back. Like, that's enough to drive you insane.
Yeah.
And like, that will crush you completely on every kind of level. And then to have friends tell you, forgive him. John's a good man.
That he's really caught up
like,
about it.
He's really upset about
That's
it.
nice.
John is not the victim here.
I cut him.
Yeah.
So he can really be cut up about it. Come, let me...
No, but John is not the victim here.
He's really upset.
No, but John is not the victim here. Like, if your friends cannot be on your side in a situation like that, I'm sorry, they're not your friends.
It was males and females. Anyway,
they're not your friends.
If you know what I'll say, if I saw, I would like cut the cameras. Guys, hey, cut the show. I'm a what?
I know.
No,
She gave him the ring there and then. I'm really proud of her. I think she was definitely my hero. I was like,
she did
yes.
really well. And she moved out as well. Got her brother in. Yeah.
I was so proud of the brother.
Yeah.
I was proud of her because I was like, that's a really, really tough situation. Some people come back, forgive. I was really proud of her for sticking to her word and going to that hotel, crying her eyes out.
Yeah.
And then
doing what she needed to do.
Yeah, just leaving.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, so my best hero story was my ex tried to cheat. It didn't work out for him.
After some time, my ex would sleep with his phone in his pocket. A weird red flag, but I never said anything. When I noticed he wouldn't even pull his phone in front of me, I knew something was up. One night, it slipped out of his sweats and I woke up with it near my legs. I was just going to put it back on a charger, honestly, but I saw he had a bunch of notifications and messages from a dating app. Man, I wanted to slap him awake, but I didn't. So I created a profile using a friend of mine's pictures that he never met.
Ooh, I like it.
So I created a profile of a friend of mine's pictures, in brackets, that he'd never met, and I had her approval. She was 100% his type, and I knew he loved blue eyes. So when we matched, like I knew he would, we got to chatting. We talked for about a week before I suggested meeting up, flirting, sexual stuff. Wow. He told her, in brackets me, that he was single and lived with a friend. So I suggested he pay for a hotel room so we could fuck. Oh. He said he would. We picked a spot. Mind you, I paid for everything because he was unemployed after losing his job. He drained my savings account over the year with manipulation. We're family. We take care of each other when we're in tough spots, he would say whenever I told him I didn't have extra money. I paid my student loans, all bills of a 1-bedroom and the food.
Wow.
This boy had the balls to ask me for the money in person. That his mum's birthday was coming up and he wanted to buy her something nice. So I gave him $50. Just because it was hilarious at this point. I still think about the smile on his face at that moment. That weekend he left, said he was going to his mum's and that he'd probably stay the night. I kissed him goodbye and told him to have a great time. Then I packed up all his stuff and left it outside.
Good.
I live in the US city, so it went fast. Got the locks changed.
I love this.
Got the locks changed. He messaged me a few times on the app. I told him I was running late because I wanted to look perfect, but I was coming and so sorry. My friend also sent me some sexy pictures to send him that I didn't fully include her face. She's a real one. I even talked him into jerking off and sending me a video. Wow. Then after making him sit until about 1 a.m, I messaged him on the dating app a picture of his belongings being rummaged through by a homeless man.
Oh my God.
And to enjoy his stay at the hotel. As soon as my phone rang, I blocked his number and went to bed.
Good.
He was outside my door the Monday I came home from work, ugly crying, begging, telling me he was homeless and he had nowhere to go. When I wasn't having it, he got angry as usual. Once he started grabbing and trying to get into my apartment, I called the police. filed a restraining order because he did threaten my life.
Yeah.
In brackets, and my pets for putting him out. Found out he ended up moving a few hours away where his only family is and has a job. Hopefully he learnt something. Oh, babe.
That one was hilarious. It was the fact that she planned it so well. But do you know what line killed me? I remember, I'm even cackling inside right now. Do you remember she said, she put his stuff outside and it's New York City, so the tramps got to it really quickly. I was like, oh my God. No, that was amazing. No, that was funny.
Yeah, no, I loved her. Do you know who I loved? Her friend. That's the type of teammate I need.
Yeah, because she gave her the content. Yeah.
She gave her content to scam him with.
Yeah.
I love the catfishing.
She was perfect. I think there were so many great co-stars. There was the friend, there was the homeless guy.
Yep. Yeah.
I just think they were just brilliant.
No, that was hilarious. Yeah. I loved it. But you know what? I think, generally speaking, we love a good revenge story.
Oh. Guys, submit more. Submit more.
We need more. We need more lick backs. We need revenge. We need all of it.
I love petty.
We need glow-ups. Glow-ups. We need all of it, honestly.
I can tell you something for nothing. Someone does me dirty, like really dirty. I'm doing a group meeting. I need it.
And coming up with ideas, isn't it?
Yeah. I need to. So what do you think? How would you go? How can we make the perfect plan? Okay, so you don't think this will work? Okay. Should we do it this way instead?
Perfect. Listen.
I'm telling you.
Get ChatGPT on the case as well.
Let me tell you, we'll get the plan and we'll get ChatGPT to refine.
Listen.
And we're good to go.
Absolutely.
And I'll be a trooper. You need me to scam? You need me to behave like a...
Listen.
Do you want me to be a postwoman? I can get the outfit. That's what we need. We need it. I love that.
I can prank call.
Yeah.
I can do it all. Yeah.
I love that.
It was just perfect.
It was perfect.
Okay, so my fave was, am I the asshole for ruining Thanksgiving?
I, 30 female, met my boyfriend, 30 male, 3 years ago. Before me, he was together with his high school sweetheart. They fell out of love and broke up. A year later, we started dating. His mum, however, was still heartbroken about it. I was very understanding and thought she needed time to get to know me. The ex basically grew up with them and they saw her as part of the family. For the first year of my relationship, his mum would call me ex's name until boyfriend got angry once and told her to be nice. She laughed it off and said it was just a habit. After that, she started calling me the wrong name. Janet instead of Jenny, fictional names, just for the story. I corrected her a couple of times, but she seemed to like hurting me, so I ignored it. My boyfriend has 2 sisters, and a couple of weeks ago, before Thanksgiving, we were invited to a barbecue at the older sister's house. I was in the kitchen with my boyfriend's mum, the sisters, and one of their husbands. The older sister then talked about how my boyfriend praised my cooking to her husband, and the mum was listening. She then said out loud, "Sure, why don't we let Janet make the turkey this year?" The sisters giggled and looked at each other, and I said, "That's a great idea." I didn't tell my boyfriend what happened. On Thanksgiving, we went to his mum's house.
I know exactly where this
with
is
the
going.
usual wine and dessert. She was shocked. Everybody was shocked. I said, "What? I thought Janet was bringing the turkey."
Listen.
There was yelling, crying, and then we got kicked out. My boyfriend is so angry with me, and he hasn't talked to me since. I think it's over, to be honest.
I'm dying.
But I still don't think I did anything wrong. Did I?
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Jenny. What a hero.
That was hilarious.
What a hero.
No, that was so funny.
It was just sweet.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
Do you remember
No turkey for the family.
They got kicked out.
Yeah, they did. But do you remember when she just kept quiet? Yeah.
So Janet.
Whatever. Janet will get the turkey, yeah, and then Thanksgiving. So where's the turkey?
She said they came with their usual wine and dessert. And stared in everyone's faces.
She said, but you said Janet will get it. Who's Janet?
I love it. I was like, yes.
No, but do you know what I love as well? Like, it just expedited that rubbish relationship. She said her boyfriend stopped speaking to her. And she said, I think it's over. I hope it's over.
Same.
Because he allowed his mum to call her the wrong name, the ex-girlfriend's name, for a whole year.
Yeah.
For a whole year. Didn't correct.
Yeah.
And then after that, he created even more space for the mum to just call her any name that began with a J except for Jenny.
But it wasn't just the mum. It was his sisters.
Yeah,
as well.
his sisters.
Like, they would
on
literally be joking about, talking about her. her. Like, yeah, no. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, like, what a hero.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys had some questions for us. We asked a few weeks ago if you guys could ask anything, and we have 3 questions. So mine is from Sarah from the US. Doesn't say what state. What's one inside joke your listeners wouldn't understand? So,
I know.
so there's this. Whenever we hear the word queen.
I knew you were going to say
So whenever we hear it,
it literally lives in my head sometimes.
So one time I went over to the twins' house and we were just chilling. And they were talking about something, and for some reason it came to like words that we really hate that men will say to women. And then May was like, I hate it when men are like, good morning.
Was me.
Oh, it was Melinda.
Yeah.
She was like, I hate when men are like, good morning, queen, like rise up, what's it called?
Empress.
Grand
Rising.
No, but it was specifically queen. I was like,
it was specifically queen.
Yeah, I was like,
and they started talking for a while. Now, obviously, there's only 3 of us in the room, so I'm supposed to be like, yeah, but I'm in the corner like
real quiet.
I was so quiet, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, Terry calls me that. And I was so bashful about it because I was like, I wasn't embarrassed, but I was like, so at what point do I say?
my husband calls me that.
Yeah, I was like, about that word. I mean, I don't love it, but for a period of time, like, I think I'm even in his phone as queen.
Yeah.
And we all just looked at each other and burst out laughing.
We were
so
laughing
now,
for
whenever
so
I hear
long.
the word queen, I'm like, yeah.
No, but do you know what it was? It's because I went off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate it. Like, I'm not your queen, you're not my king. Da, 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 da. I was going off on one. Not knowing, meanwhile, Marie's quiet in the corner because normally she'll be like, yeah. And then she's like, guys, I can't lie. Terry calls me that. She said, look at my phone.
I was like, I'm not going to lie. I can laugh with you. Guilty. I was like, guys, sorry. Like, he did call me that in the beginning. I was like, I don't really mess with that. But in the beginning, it was that. And I am queen in this phone. It was so funny. So that's like an inside joke.
Wait, I've got one. The sickness.
Oh, my. The sickness is a real thing.
Okay, so when we're filming, like, we're honestly trying our hardest to give you, like, raw, like, just, like, we're trying to be as
unfiltered,
honest,
yeah,
authentic as possible. But whilst doing that, like, we know each other's story. And sometimes we reveal things that we wouldn't necessarily like to be out there. Like, we have an editor for a reason, and we edit the content in a way in which we're comfortable with how much information we're releasing. But there are moments where we say too much.
Sorry.
And in doing so, Marie's called it the sickness.
She's like, is it for likes? Is it for likes? Is it for likes that we're here talking our business?
I was like, cut the camera. Dead that, take it out.
Because when we're reviewing it, when we're editing it, we're like, delete 4 minutes to 8 minutes. Absolutely not.
I'm all for being real, but bruh, absolutely not. I was just like, what?
No.
It's a sickness. It's taking over.
Yeah.
We need to reduce it.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. I'm all for being honest and stuff like that. But you guys don't need to know that. I'm
don't
so
need to know
sorry.
everything,
It's not
absolutely not.
everything that we need to know. I'm not here doing Dear Diary. Absolutely not.
It's true. Okay, so we got an anonymous question from South Africa. What do you think strengthened your friendship?
I think
I
for
know
me, it's
I know
easy.
what Melinda's going to say. Go on. Say your piece.
Oh no, I don't have it.
Yeah, she's going to say, I'm just here, guys.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Do you know, there's loads of similarities between our parent and like sibling relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I think that strengthened it because we don't.
So we're here just trauma bonding, yeah?
No, I don't think so.
Like we're definitely not trauma bonding. Like I just think that when you share a similar like history, or when you unfortunately your foundation, it really is a foundation for a reason. Like it does kind of seep into different aspects of your life, and when you have a safe space and a safe environment where you can actually talk to somebody who went through a similar experience, I think that does bond you to that person. And also there's no judgment. Like that's what it is. I think that's what strengthens our friendship. The fact that there is no, or even if there is judgment, it's honest. And it's like, and it's very forthcoming. Like we can speak to each other unfiltered. Yeah. Because we found with a lot of people, like we're quite direct people. Like I'm talking about me and Melinda anyway. We're really, really direct people and not everyone can take it. Yeah. But speaking to Marie can handle it. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's rare, but there are a lot of people that can be quite sensitive. And you think that they're keen with you and you think that they can handle it, but they can't. And they're slowly building up a list of resentment towards you because you said something that offended them and you didn't know. But I just feel like those two things, like shared experiences and also just like the fact that we can be our true authentic self. I
think for me it was so maybe a year or two into us being friends, we did this thing called Come Dine With Me. So once a month we used to go to each other's house in rotation and would spend the whole day there. So let's say we'll go from 1:00, we'll spend the majority of the day, we'll watch a movie, we'll cook, and that person would host. I think that really bonded us. I think after that, I could officially say these are like my sisters because we did that for 4 years straight and we never really missed. And even when I fell pregnant, had my firstborn, we still did it virtually because we even did it through the pandemic. Yes. I think we only stopped just at the beginning of the pandemic and we did it virtually and then it was like, it doesn't feel the same. Yeah. But even after the pandemic, we still picked it back up. And then I think we stopped probably around 2021, but we did it solidly for 4.5 years. And I think that really, we got really, really close. There wasn't, after that, I couldn't not see myself being with them in my life. I don't even know that sentence made sense, but yeah. It does. So basically it was, I think for me, it was more that it was like a series of those moments because we never cancelled. There was never a time or even a month when we cancelled. If they went away, we moved it up earlier. If I was going away, we moved it around, but there was never a month that was missed ever in those 4 years, apart from maybe like, I think a time in the pandemic. I think the pandemic forced us to do it, but even we did it virtually, maybe twice. And then we just met up in the park and we decided to like eat out, but like it was just
all the park was brought to us. Let me tell you, the weakest member of the cooking club was this girl. Do you remember she had the audacity to say to us, she said, do you guys want hot or cold? It's really going to be a hot day, so let's eat outside. Because she had this garden where she was staying. Oh, let's eat outside. Do you want hot or cold food? And we're like, we're AFs. We want
hot food.
No, we want hot food. We're like, we're African. We're not here for these sandwiches. We're not English. We said, give us hot food.
She gave us quiches, right?
She gave us quiches.
And then on top of it.
And it wasn't even cooked properly in the middle. I remember being so angry. No. It wasn't Melinda.
No.
You're lying.
Let me tell you why she absolutely failed that day. I wasn't even going to mention this yet. But you know, after all was said and done, Melinda went and ordered food for herself. Do you know that? She ordered food for herself. She ordered herself some prawns. And this was at a time when she was still eating meat before they were vegan. She went and ordered herself some prawns and then she ordered for herself. So me and May, and the thing is, the rules of Come Dine With Me are you cater to the host caters for everyone the whole day. That covers snacks. So we might bring snacks and fruits, but the person has to look after you the whole day. And I came with my baby and she was like, yeah, I'm eating prawns. I'm tired. What are you lot eating? And I'm like, you're the host.
She slyly ordered on Uber Eats and then a pizza comes or something. And me and Marie looked at each other like, oh, my dickhead. We're here eating quiche. She's here.
She done us dirty.
Wow.
You see how she's laughing now? Exactly how she was laughing.
Yeah.
So we've had so many experiences where, and you know, the times we always had to change the dates. Melinda's time. She'd be like, do you know what? Can we just do it next Sunday?
And she always
not
panics.
prepared.
She's oh my God, what do I cook? Oh my God.
And I was just like, this girl is not serious. But yeah, it was actually a lot of our best memories for me comes from those 4 years, and I think it drew us really close because I think if I turned up at 1 o'clock, by 4 o'clock we'd already eaten, and then we'll probably just watch a movie, chit chat, have these long talks, and then
we would even discuss dilemmas. I think that's actually that's really crazy because I actually think Marie passed on to dilemmas and read it during that period, and Marie would be like, "Oh my God, look what I read!" So it actually birthed this.
It was a really nice time, but it just felt like I don't have sisters. Like the twins are my best friends, and I have other best friends as well, but it gave me a sense of sisterhood, like a real sisterhood where they can, like, there's been times when May's like, I'm coming and I'm staying over at your house. And it's not like they're the only two people out of my friends that I can come unannounced and be like, I'm downstairs, I've got lipsticks for you, or I'm just going to come and chill for half an hour, and then get there and be like, girl, I'm staying the whole day. Me and my kids are coming.
It's true.
And and even my kids have now adopted this thing. We're like, are we going to Auntie May and Melinda's? Like, it's that time. It feels like we haven't seen them in weeks, and it will be a week. So it's nice. It's nice that they have these. They live really. We live really close, like 7 minutes away from each other. So it's just that. So for me, that's what strengthened our friendship.
Okay, so
Melinda, have you got anything to say?
Okay, so
Don't force it. It's the sickness.
Okay, so my answer is the years.
Legacy.
The years have strengthened our friendship.
It's a valid answer.
Yeah.
It's a valid
No,
answer.
honestly, do you know
She's
what?
sweet, really.
Do you know, what makes me laugh is honestly between hey, my God. Whoa.
Everything
That's
is
crazy.
everything.
It's that age.
That's really crazy.
It's that time.
No, guys, wow. Okay, no. Okay. All jokes aside.
That was okay now. Okay, yes, okay.
It's still, you know, when Stormzy was like, she ain't got it, man.
We ain't got anything.
The years. Like, honestly, my answer is the years. They're not always joke because May is always trying to make everything romantic between us. So, like, she loves us spending nights together. She loves us always being together. I'm like, there's something wrong with you. Marie's honestly like the most sweetest person in the world.
Love
like,
it.
she's literally the cutest person. And then I'll just be here. They're like, you're always trying to do fug, like really little fug that ain't got no feelings.
she's a fun. And then randomly I'll get a message like, you know, these are the reasons why I love you. I'm like, oh, it's in there.
When will the heart melt?
Nah, she's cool, man. She's
No.
a cool babe. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. Say yes.
Yes.
Go.
Your
answer is right on brand.
What?
I asked her before, I was like, yeah, there's going to be this, because she was like, oh, man.
The years. Every year.
She said, I'm just here.
I am.
I have a question from Tenny from Germany. How do you balance being vulnerable for your audience while keeping some things private? The sickness.
An editor.
It's true.
An editor.
I'll
telling you.
something for nothing. No matter what happens with this podcast, you're not going to know my life story.
Yeah!
That's me.
And that's on period. I am an African babe, and my teachings have stayed with me. The rest of the time, I keep my business to myself. There's a lot of things that I can bring to the table, memories, things I don't mind sharing, but I'm not going to sit here and be talking about, the worst thing that happened to me. I go online all the time and I'm like, she could have kept that to herself.
Absolutely.
She could have kept that to herself.
Taken it to the grave.
You could have had a gun to me and I would have never revealed this.
Yeah.
And that's on you. I think there's too much yappa, and it should in friendship groups and not online.
It's true.
You guys, the loose lips It's too much for me. So an editor.
Bring
Absolutely.
back shame.
Yeah, bring back shame.
Honestly,
I'm not involved.
yeah, no, for me, it's our editor. Like, we do sometimes go off on a tangent and sometimes reveal a lot more than we're comfortable with. But thank God for that editor, that we're able to edit it out and, you know, snip here and there, things that we don't want made public. So it's literally that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've always said this podcast is really nice. It feels like a therapy session because sometimes there's just lots of things in your life that you may not necessarily have spoken to each person about or never have addressed out loud. But then you'll read dilemmas and it's like, I've been through something similar.
Yeah.
And so whilst I'm not able to speak on my situation when I went through it, I can then talk from my own experience and maybe give advice or actually understand where that OP is coming from. So it's sometimes we go off and we actually reveal a little bit more, but with the editor, then we be cutting it. And then it's like therapy. I've speak now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that I would share because it's a lot of these things are not that much of a big deal. Like there's a lot of things you would, but then it's like when we have stories like that go off on parents and revealing what happened as a child. Look,
it's too much.
Reduce it.
Yeah.
That's when we're like, hey, the sickness has taken over. Now we're just talking. And I'm just not here for anyone to come back and ask me any questions.
I think, do you know, my answer is just remembering who I am.
Yeah.
I'm
a private person as well,
that's
to a certain extent.
Yeah. No, I am. By nature, I think we all are. We're all private people. We're not secretive. Like, there's a massive difference between that. But we are private people by nature. So, fortunately, because we do review the content, we get to decide how much we're putting out there and how much we're keeping to ourselves. But remembering who we are and that we wouldn't go out in public and start saying all of this stuff and putting ourselves out there in a vulnerable way where people pass judgment. It's just something that we wouldn't do. And then also, what you were saying in terms of just like consuming content online, and you see times where you think, you shouldn't have said that. You should have just kept quiet. Like, the thing is, we do know that once we put it out there, it's out there.
Yeah,
like, we can't then recall it. We can't take it back. It's just out there for forever. So it's just remembering that, remembering who we are, and just remembering, you know, like, by nature, we wouldn't put that info out there.
You wouldn't catch me.
Like, honestly, I do think our values, which come from being African, are vital. Honestly, like, just the way we conduct ourselves, it's not how we were raised. Like, you don't tell everyone your business. So there is definitely a fine line between vulnerability and, you know, being real. And I think that sometimes, especially like right now, and I'm not going to go and rant because it could be a rant, but it's not a rant.
She's beginning though. The beginnings of the rant are loaded.
No, but I do think social media, like, a lot of people have forgotten that. And they think being real means revealing everything. And I do think there's a fine line, and I think that we're able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. But then also, like, I feel like it is very much a therapy session because like I'm also trying to not associate shame with some of the things that I experienced growing up.
Absolutely.
And talking through it allows me to be a bit more vulnerable, a bit more open, but also it's me telling me that the blame doesn't sit with me. It sits with whoever did that to me that I experienced. And we know exactly who it is that did that, but some of them are very much alive. Actually, all of them are alive. But my thing is just, it's remembering that. Like, it's remembering that it's fine to open up a little bit because actually the shame doesn't belong with you.
Yeah. And being vulnerable is just that, being vulnerable. But it doesn't mean that when I was 10 years old, as I sat on my... no,
literally.
Bring that back. And that's what I'm talking about. It's all right to share a story here and there and even say this happened to me. And you can say this happened to me without actually giving every single detail. And that's what I mean. It's like there's a fine line. And sometimes I could be like, this happened to me, and then I'll reveal it. And I'm like,
delete
the sickness, please. Can we just leave it as this happened to me? Literally. And this is how I felt. And it doesn't have to be this happened to me and this is what I did. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
It's true.
No. So the most outrageous stories we read, mine is, my ex was so entitled, she thinks I should be paying bills for her and the guy she cheated with.
Found out my girlfriend of 11 years was cheating on me with an unemployed dude of all people.
That must burn.
He said, I'm not rich, but I provided her a good lifestyle, paid most of her bills, provided a nice place, nails and hair done regularly, dates every weekend, couple vacations a year. She got used to the lifestyle and wanted to keep living it despite cheating with a broke dude. She didn't admit to the cheating. I caught onto it. Once it was clear I was done with her, the entitlement really started to show. She said because I had family in the area and she didn't, I should move out but continue paying the bills to give her and the new guy a chance to get on their feet.
Like their kids living in the parents' house.
She's lost it. She's lost it.
She also insisted on keeping my dog, told me that I could only see my own dogs if I asked the new guy. But since they didn't have any money, I needed to continue paying for food and vet bills. Instead, I kicked her out and kept my dogs.
She needs a reality check. What is going on?
I'm finished.
At that point, she was angry and still felt entitled to my income. After I kicked her out of my place, she claimed she was forced to quit her job because I forced her to relocate. And then she tried to sue me for lost wages, which didn't work out in her favour. You'd think she'd stop at this point, but she didn't. She contacted my work and threatened to sue them, stating, "Your employees' actions cost me everything," and tried to insist they settle out of court with her for 100,000 K. With $100,000.
What?
She didn't make that much money.
What? No, she's crazy. No, this woman is actually crazy. What?
Instead, my work filed harassment charges against her. Okay. You'd think she'd stop at that point, but she didn't. She started messaging every family member of mine that she could find.
No, she is crazy. She is.
Told them I cost her everything out of spite just because she moved on with someone else. Moved on with someone else? You were cheating on me.
And then you expect your ex to fund your life with the new guy.
She's crazy. Okay. And that the least they could do is send her money to help her get a place and pay rent. When that didn't work, she went online and begged for people to send money to her Cash App to help her with her place to live and claimed it was a domestic violence situation. I don't understand how she doesn't understand that any financial support I gave her would end if she cheated on me. We weren't married. We don't have kids. I've supported her for years. I owe her nothing. I really don't owe it to her to help her and her new relationship get on their feet and establish themselves.
Get on the feet for me. That word is woo.
Do you know how mad that is?
I really don't owe it to her to help her and her new relationship get on their feet and establish themselves, which seems to come as a shock to her.
I thought this story was absolutely crazy. The fact that she went through his work, she was asking everybody and anybody, you need to pay for me and my deadbeat guy that I picked up along the way. I thought this story was mad.
And for their dog as well. Yeah.
I thought it was mad.
She said, if you want contact with your dog, you need to go through my man.
I said,
No, she was
his dog.
nuts.
It was his dog.
No, she was nuts. She thought she was still entitled to the benefits of the relationship after the relationship ended. And because she cheated. The relationship ended because she cheated. But she still thought, yep, pay for my house, pay for my car, pay for my shopping, pay for my nails. I was like,
and pay for my man.
Yeah, I was like,
because he's broke
nuts.
too. I thought that was
crazy.
So funny.
That was
crazy.
hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, and mine was, am I the asshole for wanting my mother-in-law to move out after she kicked out my parents?
I, 45 female, live with my children. 2 12-year-old twins, I'm guessing. Yep. 2 12-year-old girls and 2 boys, one 14 and one 15. And my husband, 46 male. And my mother-in-law, 65 female. Okay. My mother-in-law moved in with us back in 2015 after my father-in-law passed because she was financially struggling. My mother-in-law is not easy to live with and we struggled immensely at the beginning. But after a few years, we found a way to cohabit. Then recently, 3 months ago to be exact, my parents, 68-year-old female, 68-year-old male, house burned down. And they moved in with us. Yeah. The house burned down and they moved in with us while everything is sorted out with insurance and so on. My boys are sharing a bedroom as my parents are currently staying in my eldest bedroom. My mother-in-law has struggled with this and seems to hate my mum being around.
Whoa. Why?
My mother has done nothing to upset her or to disturb her. In fact, my parents' bedroom is on the other side of the house. She doesn't, however, have a problem with my father and always finds a way to hang out with him.
She needs to move from him.
Anyway, listen.
She said, come, Zaddy.
Wow.
A few days ago, while I was away for work, a massive argument happened between my mother and my mother-in-law. My mother had accused her of trying to seduce my father, and there were some inappropriate texts sent to my father. My father immediately showed it to my mother, and my mother responded as if she were my father to see how far my mother-in-law would go.
That's
and
a
well,
good man, Savannah.
she
Yeah,
went
I was gonna
far.
say.
That's a good man,
He
Savannah.
said, I don't want none of this.
Listen,
He said,
she
"I ain't
wanted to
bonding."
see how far I'd go, and she went far. Okay.
Is it, Auntie?
Okay, listen. Well, my mother confronted her, and my mother-in-law called the police, saying she felt threatened, who then escorted my parents out of the house. This all happened while my husband was at work and the kids at school. My parents went to stay at a hotel, and they explained what happened to me over the phone. When I returned, I gave my mother-in-law 2 weeks to move out. My husband thinks I'm escalating things and that I should forgive his mother's actions because she was lonely and confused.
No.
FYI, there is nothing wrong with her. She's in good health. Okay. So, am I the asshole for wanting her out of my house and my life?
Oh my God, this was like one of our first episodes. This was so funny. Like the mother-in-law was mad.
Is that what she sent secret little pictures?
Yeah, to her dad. So imagine your mother-in-law sending nudes to your dad whilst they both live in the same household because both parents moved in. There was a fire for one,
You
and
don't
the
need
other.
to do the recap. It's gonna.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was crazy. That was really. I don't know how she thought it would end. That's what I don't
Well-
get. Did you think you would have an affair with my dad, with my mum living in the same household?
Let me
Like,
tell
I
you
don't
something,
understand.
yeah. I thought that story was just excellent. And my only regret, and thankfully today you guys will listen to it, is that we did it so early on.
Yeah.
We did it so early on because this is in like episode 1.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was.
I think
yeah.
episode 1 or
two.
one of the
1 to
first
3,
three
something like that.
episodes. Yeah, my regret is that everybody hasn't heard it because I just think it was so audacious.
That was
And
the
then
best.
she wants to cry victim
Yeah.
when the police come.
But she won though, because remember she
Yeah,
got
she
her
got
own home.
She got a house.
She got her own home to live with her friends.
Her best friend moved in.
Yeah, and they paid for it. Opie and her husband paid for her to move out after she caused a madness in Opie's parents' marriage. It was
Or try to
crazy.
at least. She's crazy.
crazy.
Even the police was called.
Yeah,
I think it was excellent. It was a brilliant
that was
story.
funny. That was so good.
Okay, my most outrageous story was fiancé cheated and got pregnant for another man but miscarried.
I, 29-year-old male, started dating my fiancée, 29-year-old female, back in 2016 when we were 21. We started off as friends with benefits, then became exclusive 6 months later after confessing our feelings to one another. Things went well, but it wasn't long till our differences became apparent. She was outgoing and adventurous, and I was more indoors and quiet. She would get a lot of attention from boys due to being a very curvy and beautiful woman. Nonetheless, we were making it work. She had our son in 2019, and I proposed in 2020. After having our son, I noticed our sex life deteriorating, but she said this was due to her still suffering from pains, as she was not sewed up correctly by the doctors after they broke her waters.
Oh no.
After giving birth, she got a job as a nurse and started doing long hours that I thought were quite excessive, as she had no time to rest. I was looking after our son 5 days out of the week, as she says she's too tired and overwhelmed with her nursing job. As time went on and the bleeding stopped, our sex life was still problematic, and I kept voicing my concerns. Since 2023, we've been having sex once a month on average, and I communicate that as young 27-year-olds, we should be way more active. But she keeps giving the excuse of having low libido, which was shocking, as we used to do it all the time when we were friends with benefits.
She's opening up for somebody else.
Yep. Our bedroom. Listen. Our bedroom turned dead, and every time I tried to bring it up, she kept accusing me of that being the only thing I want. Whenever we
The
do
gaslight.
have sex, she will rush me or often complain of belly cramps pains. I complained and even asked if she has met someone else taking her attention
Aww.
or if she cheated. But she denied these allegations and would gaslight me into thinking it was my fault for asking for some intimacy, knowing she works long hours and that I am being inconsiderate. Keep in mind, I am paying the bills. She went on a family trip back to her home country and left her phone at home in case it would get lost, and I used this opportunity to go through her phone.
Where was this whole country that you can leave your whole What are you talking about?
Our phone's not allowed in this country.
Where does she live? Where does she live?
No, honestly,
where does she live?
Our phone's not allowed in this country. Is there like a force?
Because she's going to meet her man.
What?
She wants no phones
It's
there.
true, though.
That's
No GPS
wild.
coordinates.
That doesn't make sense.
She don't want to be caught.
No,
but she
find my
can.
Find my iPhone, find my Android, none of
Nah,
that.
this is crazy.
Nah,
So-
that doesn't make no sense, man.
At
That's
all.
stupid.
Wow.
Okay. It didn't take long before I found a message chain with another man. Her and this person were talking about how much they love each other and have been in a relationship for 4 years, but yet she's been engaged to me with our son during that time.
Oh no!
Turns out she also became engaged to this person back in 2023.
Whoa.
And she also got pregnant by this person on multiple occasions, with the earliest
that was
documented
why she was
evidence
bleeding.
being
Scandal! Scandal!
Yeah.
Wow.
Sis was grieving and bleeding. That's what she didn't want to be.
You said grieving and bleeding. Nah, maybe
Nah,
I'm
she's
done.
right. She's right. She's right.
Hey, where's the lie? She was nah.
I like
babes.
it.
She
No.
was great every time because
No, that's
he said
mad
that
though.
when he was trying to have sex. She
What's
was
wrong
like,
with these people though? You
Because
can't
she's
protect
thinking to
yourself.
myself-
She kept saying she was getting cramps.
yeah,
That's it.
What's wrong with her?
Aye.
Like, she can't prevent yourself from getting pregnant. Like multiple
She-
times. The
Right.
first
She wants
time,
to
cool.
feel it
But
inside.
what? Every time? No,
She's
come
not using
on.
protection.
I'm
Clearly,
not using none.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's wrong with her? If you're gonna cheat, I don't get it. Like,
I
I don't get
know.
people like that. If you're gonna cheat, take the necessary precautions.
nah,
bro.
she wants to feel it all.
Nah.
Wow. Nah, her
That's
taking her
pretty
phone.
crazy, you know.
Her taking her phone, leaving her phone,
leaving her
has
phone
sent
at
me.
home.
It's another. It's 2024.
To go back to her home country, yeah?
Nah, that is crazy.
I need to know the country.
Wow.
She's not even in the home. She could be next door.
No, that is a wild
Let's
excuse.
actually think
Imagine-
about
you
it.
don't
She
understand.
could be
If-
in the same city.
No, let me explain how wild it is. If me and May went out, yeah, to anywhere, whether it's flipping KFC, whether it's to a party, in this city, in this same city in London, and she didn't have her phone, I'll be looking at her strangely.
I know.
Talk to us about travelling
On
abroad.
holiday. I know.
I'll be like, excuse me, mate, what's going
Telling
on
me
here?
that we could do Skype and email.
Yeah, I'll be like, mate, seriously, what's going on here? Talk to us about your partner. There is no reason. Like, there is none.
This has got to be the
Nah,
funniest,
that's crazy.
the funniest excuse
That
I've
is
heard in a long time.
crazy.
I haven't even finished.
Sorry.
Okay, so turns out she also became engaged to this person back in 2023, and she also got pregnant by this guy on multiple occasions, with the earliest documented evidence being December 2022. She kept having miscarriages, which was why she has not had a baby for this other guy yet, but she has met his family and has even told the guy in the messages that her mum also wants to meet him, even though her mum knows me and her are engaged and have a family together. I was able to retrieve the deleted messages and saw so many love hearts and I love you littered throughout their chat. I have seen receipts of her buying this other man food to eat and just generally being more welcoming and less short-tempered to him than she is to me.
I am laughing because
He pays all the bills. Listen,
she's using that nursing money to nurse him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Listen, so I also retrieved so many other deleted chats, which shows her being unfaithful from as early as 2018.
Why are you with
And
this guy?
also having slept and gotten pregnant for another man who was a doctor at her workplace, but she also miscarried that child too. Even when she has begun the relationship and got engaged with the other guy, she was still being unfaithful. So it seems she's also cheating on this other guy. I also saw chats of her sending pictures of her body and figure to other boys, as well as trying to arrange dates to meet up with them. All the while, she's engaged and has a son with me and is telling me she wants to marry me.
This woman belongs on Maury.
I know. I confronted her about the guy she was supposedly engaged to and got pregnant for. She initially became defensive and was more concerned I went through her phone.
Of course,
This is what they always do.
Always.
I kept questioning her, probing for an answer. And she told me how she enjoys the guy's company because it's like a male version of her and like a twin. But she says she doesn't want him or love him and that she was lying to him about all that and will drop him for me. She denied ever sleeping with him or anyone else. She denied
sleeping with him. How'd you get pregnant, bro?
It wasn't me.
What?
No, listen. She denied the pregnancy happened or the engagement, even though I saw messages between them speaking about it and how much they are in love. I confronted her and asked her if her mum is also involved, and she said her mum does not know anything and that she was just lying to the other guy about her mum knowing. A part of me wants to speak to her mum about it and confront her, but I don't want to blow this whole thing up in case her mum really doesn't know. Whilst on holiday...
I mean, there's no shame now. Why stop here?
Whilst on holiday, she's been calling saying that she'll do anything to change and make it up to me and prove it by cutting the guy off. But I know she's only saying this because she got caught. I feel like she doesn't understand the seriousness of her actions and how painful it was for me to feel like second or third best whilst I am paying bills and looking after her, etc. This is where I'm conflicted. On one hand, I feel so betrayed and embarrassed she was living a double life for 4 years and got engaged and nearly had a baby for someone else. It hurts me that she was telling me that she had low libido and caused a dead bedroom while she was being more sexually active with someone else. Just the fact she let another man inside her and could potentially have been more engaged in the sex with him over me just makes me sick and feel like shit. On the other hand, I do not want to lose my family and I dread the thought of another man being around my son and potentially having a hand in raising him. She could end up having different men around my son, so I could stay for the sake of my son. I could try get full custody and let her live her life. My heart says stay, but my mind says to go, as she will probably keep talking to other guys, because if she can do it for that long, then it's something that is part of her personality, and she'll surely do it again. I just feel like she's a habitual liar and serial cheater who will surely do it again, and she gets a lot of attention from men due to her being very beautiful and curvy. I'm just torn and don't know what to do. Any advice, please?
Oh, bleeding and healing.
Oh,
Yeah, she was sick. Oh, yeah, my phone didn't work outside the country. I was like, what are you talking about? That you can't take your phone with you to another country. She was mad. She was mad.
No, what
she
scared
was
me was
crazy.
it's the amount of men she was talking to.
Nah, she had the doctor
And she
at
had
work.
loads of miscarriages.
And she was like,
She's just out here having unprotected sex with everyone.
everyone and everybody. It was crazy. That story was outrageous.
No, but what was
It
crazy
is.
was OP had
OP loved her.
self-esteem. That self-respect, self-esteem, anything was in the bin. Because anything just to be with that girl.
Yeah. She even had an abortion. Remember, she worked in a hospital. She had an abortion for one of the doctors.
Yeah, that's what I
Meanwhile,
said.
she's in a relationship with OP. It was crazy.
That's not even the worst thing.
It was crazy.
Don't forget, he was moving like a single parent whilst in a relationship with the mother of... He was doing all the parenting.
Yeah.
So what was she
She said
there
she
for?
had 2 jobs. This time she was creeping.
But she was part-time as well.
I mean...
It was a madness. It was an
crazy
absolute
work,
madness. Hilarious.
And our last category was you guys. Our best submission, we all agreed, was my best friend turned out to be my brother.
Yeah. Final submission. Hello, my name is C, and this is my very strange story. I'd really love some opinions on this.
Sure.
I just found out I have a brother, and he happens to be one of my best friends. For context, I'm a 20-year-old college student. I was raised by a single mother and my aunt. My mum passed away when I was 15, and my aunt has been taking care of me ever since. I don't have any siblings, and I've never met my father. My mother never spoke about him, and I never asked. In college, I made a great group of friends. 2 are in my year, and 3 are upperclassmen. One of them, let's call him John, is now my brother. My friends would often comment on how much John and I looked alike, and honestly, I could see it too. We do share a striking resemblance. John was raised in a 2-parent household with a mum, a dad, and 2 brothers. He would often say how much he wanted me to meet his family, just so they could see the resemblance for themselves. I eventually met one of his brothers who immediately pointed out how similar we looked. He even joked that it would be hard to convince anyone we weren't siblings. Then something happened unexpectedly. One of our friends was in an accident and needed a blood transfusion. Their blood type was A positive. Coincidentally, both John and I are A positive as well. While we were sitting in the hospital, the doctor came over and thanked me and my brother for donating. John and I laughed and told him we weren't siblings, and the doctor gave us this weird, stunned look. In hindsight, maybe he knew something we didn't. Later, as a joke, one of our friends suggested we take a DNA test. We all laughed it off, but a few weeks later, when I wasn't feeling well, John took me to the hospital and brought it up again. He admitted he'd been thinking about it ever since that day and asked if I'd be willing to take the test with him, just for peace of mind. I agreed. We took the test, and 2 days later, we got the results. We are half siblings. It completely shook us. Wow. The only explanation that made sense was that John's father was my biological father, especially since I never knew mine. I look a bit like my mother, but John and I clearly share physical traits that match his father. I confronted my aunt and told her that I'd discovered my brother and needed to know the truth about my dad. She was shocked and eventually admitted that my father was a married man. My mother had an affair with him and she never told him she was pregnant. She was ashamed of the situation, so she kept it a secret, even from him. John and I decided not to tell anyone right away. He was deeply hurt, both by the fact that his father had an affair and by the fact that we never got to grow up together. We're so close in age, and the thought of all those missed years really hit him hard. Eventually, John confronted his dad, privately. His father admitted to the affair and told him that his wife, John's mum, already knew, as they had been going through a rough patch at the time, but neither of them knew about the pregnancy. His dad then insisted that John bring me to him. When John told me that his dad wanted to meet me, I said no. It felt too fast, and I was still processing everything. John completely understood. Then a few days later, I got Instagram friend requests from both of John's brothers. I accepted, and they both messaged me. They were incredibly kind and welcoming. They said they always wished they had a sister. And although the circumstances are far from ideal, they'll still love to get to know me. Nothing told me that she was a girl.
Yeah, I thought it was a guy.
I thought it was a guy.
I think the tone gave me girl. Maybe because I know. It's an email submission.
I thought it was a guy. Okay.
Yeah.
One of them even mentioned that their mum wants to meet me too. I think that was the older one. Their messages were so sweet and comforting. We've been messaging back and forth. It's still a bit awkward, but at the same time, it feels natural. Right now, I'm still trying to process everything. I'm not hiding. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I just want to take things slowly. John is back at school, and while things between us have shifted, our bond is even stronger. I no longer see him as just a friend. He's my brother. I'm struggling with what to do next. Is this my second chance at a family? My aunt is encouraging me to get to know them, but she wants to meet them first. She's planning to meet John's family soon, meeting him as my brother, not as my friend. That means a lot to me. But at the same time, I feel like I'm betraying my mother. She clearly didn't want this secret to come out. I feel like I owe it to her to protect that, but I also feel like I owe it to myself to explore this unexpected, possibly beautiful new chapter of my life. I'm putting it all in prayer. I'm a God-fearing girl, and prayer is all I know to do when things get overwhelming. Still, I would love to hear your thoughts. Does this sound as crazy to you as it sounds to me? Best regards, C. Can't wait to hear from you.
That was such a wholesome story. We haven't heard back, but when we get an update, we'll let you guys know. I thought that was so sweet. I'm rooting for her. I'm really, really rooting for her.
Do you know what? Just talking about like answering the question earlier about like how do you like be vulnerable, and then I wanted to cry. I'm not gonna lie. As I was reading that story, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I was choking up inside. I wanted to cry.
Yeah, that was sweet. Such a cute
when her
story.
aunt said that she will meet her best friend as her brother, I said, "Kill me now.
Take me."
If it was a film, I would have been crying at that point.
She cries all the time.
Me too.
I can't escape it. It's like,
see, look at these little people.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie.
This is why I'm called the fuck out here, innit? Because I can hold it together.
I was watching one the other day. I was down bad, man. I had to pick myself up off the floor.
what was the film that you
But in saying
got
that,
me to watch?
we watched
Simon Birch.
No, but we watched The Lost Boys and The Lost Bus. Lost Boys. The Lost Bus recently.
There is called that one's harrowing.
But we're not talking actually. But it was The Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey. It just came out. There's a scene right at the end. Me and May were just crying for so long.
I couldn't stop.
We just like
crying. I had to keep getting more tissue. It was just
no. We said, but wait. So back to the
the story.
That submission was the cutest.
I should have got an Oscar for not crying because I really wanted.
They're not handing that out.
Behave.
Yeah.
Behave, sister. What?
They're not doing that. Absolutely not.
I mean, you were fighting for your life. Okay.
No, you don't understand. It was just like how welcoming and like do you know what? Sometimes you can't unfortunately compare your situation as well. So it's like there was tinges of it where I felt like, oh, I could have like if only.
You had an if only moment. Okay.
Yeah, I had
enough.
an if only moment, but yeah, I did a really good job of holding it together, guys.
Oh, she wants you to know that.
That's not really the topic at hand, though, is it?
That's what she wants us to know, though.
Oh, okay.
And that's fine. Okay. You know, let her have her moment.
No, I absolutely loved it. And I think kind of like the same reasons for me as well. That story, it just made me think of like my own story, whatever it may be, because I ain't sharing, guys. But anyway, it just made me think and just how loved OP will be, is, and like just what an amazing like chapter she's now going to enter, because she thought she didn't have family, just her aunt, but now she's got a huge family and they're so welcoming. Like it was just really, really sweet. Honestly.
Beautiful. It was just such a beautiful story.
It really was.
And yeah, OP, please get back to us. We want an update.
Yes,
we do. I mean, it's been 15 minutes. Feels like 10 years.
Literally.
And that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
We've got a little cake.
We do. Come on, guys. Blow out.
Woohoo!
And we're one. Thanks, guys, so much for following and for watching. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When a dad's in a room.
No.
Don't know.
When it becomes apparent.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's very smart.
I like that a lot.